It is unacceptable to lie to people about your products, and I think I've caught a major brand lying. This Attack Shark Model X3 is an example of a mouse that you shouldn't buy just because it's more expensive than the competitors. I used this scale right here to expose the fact that they were misleading customers about the weight of their mouse. It ended up being 54 plus grams, which is an 11% increase from the 49 gram advertised weight. The Attack Shark is currently on sale for $41, and that is insane because this Vixie R1 SE can be found for as low as $26 online, and they have the same sensor, a very similar weight, and this Vixie has a way better feel. And on top of that, this Vixie uses an online software. I think it has more features and just overall has a more polished feel. Now, this is pretty disappointing news. I thought this was gonna be a really cool mouse, but the second that I unboxed it and I felt the shape, I just felt like, oh no, this is like a completely wrong shape. It gets so narrow down the middle that your hands are just forced into this weird, uncomfortable claw shape on the bottom. And it just feels like you just have no control over this mouse. It's almost like an office mouse feel. So for that reason alone, I just wouldn't want to even pay $27 for this. Now, if you already have this mouse and you like it, more power to you. There's no reason you should return it if you already bought it, used it, and enjoy it. But if you're in the market for budget gear, this is definitely not the mouse that you want to look at. And I'll continue to look for good budget deals on this channel, so make sure to subscribe because I will keep my eyes out for you for anything that can compare to my Superlight 2. So far, nothing really has compared to it. I know it's a really expensive mouse, but I just recently had a keyboard that felt better than my Wu-Ting, so I actually switched to it permanently. So it is possible for budget products to compete with or even be better than their expensive counterparts. Now, what does this say for budget mice as a whole? I would say be very careful and make sure that you look at reviews before you purchase things, because you never know if something can be falsely advertised and completely mess you up. Because I know a lot of people would probably see that it's a more expensive mouse and just think, okay, maybe it looks a little bit cooler and it's more expensive, so it must be better, right? And maybe they like the name Attack Shark better than Vixie, right? Or VXE. But I'm here to say that there's probably a lot more out there like this. So I'm gonna have to keep looking, and I'm gonna have to make sure I have my scale handy because I didn't even expect this to be an issue. When I was first weighing these mice, I thought that they were all going to be within a gram. I thought they would have no reason to lie about something like that because it's just so obvious, right? But it turns out there was actually a huge discrepancy, and all my other mice lined up with what they were supposed to be. So I'll make sure to continue this series of exposing mice that don't actually meet the standards that they are advertising in their product listing pages, because that is absolute no-no, especially if they're trying to charge a premium for that mouse based off of that standard that they cannot meet. Now, this was a very long rant about the state of budget mice. Let's just get into the review of this mouse so that you can see that I actually gave it a fair shake. The box included a cable, a mouse that has the removable stickers on the back, so make sure to take those off. It also included a manual. Very bare bones, no adapter included. You basically have to just rely on the dongle being plugged straight into your computer's port and just hope that there's no interference and that the latency is good. Right out of the box, I didn't really have to change many settings at all. I did slide the click latency all the way down to make sure I'd be able to click fast, and I didn't have any debouncing problems or any like double click problems even when spamming quickly. So that is a bonus. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually hitting some pretty good shots with this mouse, but it just felt like I had to adjust so much to it. It just felt so unnatural. Always felt like it had to be close range fights. Long range fights where you have to do micro flicks with your wrist is just really difficult because your fingers are just so cramped up. It's really hard to make minor adjustments with your wrist. So I wouldn't really suggest it for attack shooters. I don't really know, maybe some people with fingertip grip would like this mouse better, but I just rest my palm on the top of the mouse, just like the most default grip ever. So for me, mouse really wasn't cutting it. Just be careful out there, make sure you don't get a bad deal. And if you have a scale, measure your mice that you buy, because who knows, maybe you got scammed. Maybe you thought you were getting like a 55-gram mouse, but it's actually 60 grams, right? That should be unacceptable. Again, I've already proved that my scale is correct because the Superlight comes up as 2 grams lighter. So that could mean that the Attack Shark is up to 7 grams heavier than advertised. So yeah, guys, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you want more videos like this, I will be reviewing a few more keyboards and a very interesting, unique mouse that is made out of metal soon. You might know which mouse this is if you've been scouring the internet, but if you don't, trust me, it's worth the wait to see what that mouse will be. Yeah, guys, peace.